This is Radio Free Cybertron episode 903. I am Brian Kilby. Radio Free Cybertron's the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast, and in about 2 weeks we'll hit our 25th anniversary.
Heck.
With me this week, going back all the way 25 years, we have Chris and John.
Wow.
Wow. Double wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We also have who I knew of 25 years ago, but wasn't on the show. We have Don.
Hello.
In the 1990s, which is when we started doing the show, Don was the most famous Transformers fan.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I can't. Maybe Ben, because Ben did get the TV
No,
credit.
Ben will always be better known than myself.
Yeah, you know the difference though. Here's the difference. Dawn in the 90s and the early aughts, Dawn was an annual event.
Right. So that's exactly the
There's
right way
Matt,
to contextualize this.
Diecast, and
Yeah.
Rob. Yes. Go ahead.
John's got the right way to contextualize
Hello.
it, though. Like, Ben is that really, like, visible contributing member of the community that you see around you every day who is always doing something. Like, you know, he's always got something going on. Don was the celebrity, though, that you hear from occasionally, and it's like everybody sits there and they wait for the Don appearance to happen at the event.
It was 2003 at OTFCC. That was the first time I heard Don ask the question.
Mhm.
And I fanboyed. I am not joking. I
I
excited.
feel like I'm a one-trick pony, though. I really haven't done anything.
I got a picture of Don standing up talking to Hasbro asking the question. I need to dig it out.
So like at BotCon 2016, I made sure when I was doing like the video coverage stuff for T-Formers to do the same thing, basically get the last time Don would be able to, you know, address Hasbro directly during the panel, and we kind of bookend that way.
So for people who don't remember, Don is Headmaster Don because every year at BotCon he would stand up and ask Hasbro if they're going to make a Headmaster RC.
Well, I'm going to explain that real quick for those people who may not know.
I think
the reason. Okay, well, I'm saying the reason I asked for that figure
because you wanted it
is because, well, yes, but the real reason is that of all the movie characters that got new toys, RC did not.
Yes,
and by the time BotCon started, you know, we'd already had the Rebirth where she became a Headmaster. I figured if I asked for Headmaster RC, then you'd be able to get whichever. It'd be the same RC. You wouldn't have to worry about the Headmaster feature or not if you didn't want to. That way, everybody could get the one they wanted. That's why I always asked for the Headmaster version. Because if I just asked for the regular one, I would have got it eventually, and then but it not be a Headmaster. So
And now, you know, 30 years later, you might actually be looking at getting something along that line in Missing Link next year. That's just amazing.
Yeah, I'm waiting to turn into dust any moment now.
Everything's coming up Donberg.
Everything's coming up Donberg. Okay, so we are approaching the holiday season. I know Halloween isn't here yet, but we really want to remind everybody of Elf on a Shelf Warmer. Every year, we make a point to ask you to pick up a toy off the shelf and drop it in a donation box. As there are kids out there who will get nothing without the kindness and generosity of a stranger. There are so many toys that are sitting on the shelf, i.e. Coronation Starscream, that will never go away if somebody doesn't buy them. And you can help out other collectors by buying them up, and you can help out a kid by putting it in a box. So, I was going to do it this week, but I was affected by the hurricane, Helene. We're fine, but we had no internet for days. I'm going to put up a landing page at tfradio.net, and we'll link to resources where you can find a drop box, and we'll try to put up some deals where you can find something that's going to be something great to help out a kid that they'll like, that's not going to set you back too much money. And of course, we draw no referral fees or make any money off of this. We do this out of the kindness of our hearts and the desire to help people. But I think we do have our Amazon wish list up. Again, no referral fees. I think it's at tfradio.net/elf. And
Mhm.
there's some stuff up from last year, which I'm sure is still there, because it is shell forming stuff after all. And you
Right.
can check that out now. If you want to snap a photo, put it up on social media, hashtag off on a shell former, that would be great. But yeah, do something good this year. Help out a kid. I think Hasbro and JT Prime. I thought JT Prime retired,
I thought so too, but I'm not complaining.
but I think they're trying to do something kind to me. As I say, I'm like, I might not buy any more new Transformers. I might just be buying vintage stuff. And then JT
Are you
Prime,
sure then that it's a kindness that they're doing
Yeah.
this and they're not, inflicting this upon you?
yeah, like the 2025 Generations leak.
Just when
makes me-
you thought you were out, they're pulling you back in. I'm not sure that's a kindness.
So we have, we'll do it in order. Commander G1 Silverbolt, which confirms our suspicion that they'll be following the Stunticons model for future combiners. The one that gets me, and Chris and I were talking about this in pre-show, and
Slightly.
he is not as enthusiastic about this as I am. Prime Titan, the Generations Prime Wars.
Well, so yeah,
whatever
so
they're
the
called.
the subline next year is Age of the Primes.
Age of the Primes, but it's
So yeah,
Titan Star Convoy.
And I mean, I never thought of Star Convoy because to me he's not a Titan. He'd be more to me of a commander class. But wow, that is
I was a little confused on the height thing as well, but apparently people have been like discussing in different places the height of Star Saber in the Battle Stars manga, and it comes up to somewhere in between like 40 and 45 meters,
It's huge.
which is 130 to 150 feet tall. So yeah, Titan class kind of fits Star Convoy.
yeah. Well, I'm thinking like of the original toy. If they did something like that, bigger but not motorized, a commander class would probably cover that. Is what I always
It'll
thought.
come.
But-
It'll come with a Hot Rodimus, of course.
right.
Yeah, I mean,
well,
we're
I mean,
assuming-
maybe.
We're
Yeah, I
assuming.
mean, at this point, they'd probably just cut that for budget.
that's a defining.
Like,
For me, that's a defining feature of that toy.
Well, if Star Convoy is going to be a Titan class, they could just reuse that core class hot rod from a couple years ago, and
No,
it would
don't.
it would kind of scale.
I mean, if they do anything, that's what I would expect them to do. Yes, it would be great if it was just big enough that you could use Studio Series Hot Rod in the same form of interaction. Like, just go for broke at that point.
So
Yeah, like I can't envision Titan class Star Convoy or Star Optimus Prime, as they're obviously marketing it, as taking a form that would be interesting to me to have that as a Titan. Like perhaps it's a limitation of my own imagination. I'm getting old, my mind is becoming feeble. I just can't, see these things the same way I used to in my mind's eye. But like I just have a hard time imagining that this is going to be something that clicks for me in particular, especially when I own two of those selects Star Convoy retools of Power of the Primes Optimus, whose chest stars tend to break off, which is why I have two of them, so I have a backup one
yeah,
when the
that's-
star
that's-
inevitably breaks off.
That's not a good toy. That's why we need. a
No,
new
it's
Star
really
Convoy.
not, but
So
it's
No,
not, but it's the
the-
size that I expect it to be.
And I'll always have a place for that toy because the Optimus Prime that comes out of it is vaguely Action Master-ish.
Yeah, that's really cool too.
But from interviews we've heard, I can't remember exactly which one, but I believe it was Hasui-san is interested in doing Grandis as a Titan.
oh please.
So I
Let's do
mean,
that.
this would scale with Star Convoy. You could have one Titan towing around another one. Throw Sky Gary in there. I mean,
God, I need this. So, Star Convoy holds a very special place in my heart, and not because I broke the star off my Generation Selects one. It's just
Yeah, that came much later.
I've always loved that toy. The original was one of my first Japanese G1 toys that I owned. I loved it. I love the reissue, how it's different. I love the box for the reissue. I love the box for the original. I'm fascinated by that toy, and I've owned multiples of it, and it's just one of those G1 toys that's very close to my heart. So I'm excited about this.
I kind of feel like they would have to design this in such a way where like the cab and comes off and makes its own basic robot, and you get like the a playset kind of base component with the bulk of the trailer, but then there'd be like some like basically just a bigger Armada Optimus, pretty much, is how I would see this being designed. Because like I can't imagine the only robot mode it has being this big giant thing that feels so out of place with everything else.
Yeah. So what we don't know about right now, other than the listing, is Generation Select's G2 Dinobots.
Yeah, so that's it's a fan channel set, so that's gonna be going through your Hasbro Pulses and your Big Bad Toy Stores and what have you. I mean, we know we're getting in main retail a G2 probably blue Grimlock in 2025. So like if this is the other two Dinobots that actually came out in G2, they could do that as a Selects 2-pack for admittedly a very high price, as a
This is
Selects thing.
almost certainly the core class set.
I'm afraid
Sadly.
you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in that case, I doubt I'm going to buy it, but I would certainly enjoy having, Snarl and Slag in their G2 colors
Yeah.
in the leader molds.
I like your
Right.
idea better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
thank
pray.
you.
I'm pray it's leader because I want all 5 of them. Well, I mean, there's concept art for Snarl and Swoop. I mean, Sludge and Swoop, so they could do it. They have enough. Unless they pull up the wrong image off of Google search,
Ha.
but they've got enough information on what they were supposed to look like that we could finally get them. And I'll be honest, if I can get G2 Dinobots instead of Killing Jar repaints, it would hurt. It would really, really hurt. But I would want leader class versus the kill. But I
Yeah.
still want Killing Jar repaints. So
They've
bad.
eventually got to repaint that Ultra Magnus into something, Don.
Yeah. So, sure to recreate the Walmart Cosmos Rush, we have a Generations retro-inspired deluxe sea spray. That's a Walmart channel.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I hope it's as good as Cosmos, Brawn, and Gears. I really do, because if they can just up his transformation a little bit with a little bit of wow and pizzazz, if you can do that for Sea Spray, I would
I
appreciate it.
I feel like this is going to turn out functionally the same way it went with Beachcomber, where it's just like, okay, this is the existing toy that was perfectly good already, just made bigger but no more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, if it's retro inspired,
Yeah, that's what gets me.
is that like the Optimus Prime that we're getting very soon?
That's
That's
G1 universe.
retro.
So it could have been a G1.
There's also a retro inspired Brawn in here. It doesn't say package refresh.
Yeah.
No, to me that's saying it's like the Optimus Prime. It's going to be almost like the G1 toy.
I hope
I
they,
don't
I
know.
hope they don't do that.
I
Yeah,
have a
I don't-
feeling
I
it's
don't
probably
know.
just.
Go ahead, Rob.
I have a feeling it's just basically the latest iteration of the retro packaging line, like they had Headmasters figures. It's going to be that kind of thing.
Yeah, because they're going to basically take what probably the card art was off the original figure, something similar to that, but stick it on those retro boxes. I think you're right,
So keep
Rob.
in mind, with G.I. Joe, these things are on cards. So it could be on a card.
Yeah.
Which
The
would be
original
cool.
minibots were on cards,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
So Matt mentioned Brawn, Target, Bullseye Studio Series Voyager, or for Cybertron, Optimus variant.
And Megatron variant, might as well just toss those both out there at the same time.
Oh, I love that we're getting that Megatron mold again. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah, because those are the 2 recent ones from the Gamer series, right?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Deluxe Sideswipe, again,
from Devastation.
yeah, and Wheeljack from Devastation.
So like honestly, both of those are probably just going to be the Earthrise era molds with cell shading deco, because that would be visually consistent for that game.
And I might get the Sideswipe if that's the case. I like that game. I kind of like that style.
Okay, there's a bunch of stuff here as well for Wonderfest Shanghai. Nothing that interests me so much. Blokees, is it Blokees or Blokees?
I'm assuming Blokees, but
Action class Megatron with throne. Action
Yeah, so
class
that-
TUF1 Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, and IDW Megatron.
No, classic class TF1. Action class
Classic.
Megatron's a new product segment in Blockies. It appears to come with a little tiny Starscream coronation throne that it can sit on, and also has some like removable armor pieces. So it's like a up. It's an up complexity Blocky versus the types that already exist.
looks like it's closer to just ordinary like design proportions for Megatron 2 compared to some of the other Blockies I've seen.
Hmm.
I don't own a single one of these.
I am suddenly interested in getting some of the Blockies because someone on Blue Sky was showing off the little clear plastic Sharkticon part containers that some of them came with.
Interesting. Let's see here. Flame Toys for I model G1 Megatron, Soundwave. Listed twice. Shockwave.
Oh,
Hound.
how'd they do that? Anyway, Soundwave, Shockwave, Hound, yeah.
I swear we saw
Diatlas,
some of these last year.
Ultra Magnus from IDW, Starscream, Jet Power, Armor, Optimus Prime, I'm guessing.
Well,
Yes.
no, the Jet Power armor, I think they are selling an accessory system for the pre-existing Optimus figures they have.
Yeah,
It's an
sadly
upgrade
the
add-on.
sadly the Ultra Magnus is in the Kurokara Curry series, so it's not a relatively affordable model kit, but a like $400 toy.
Hmm.
Diatlas is not a non-painted prototype, it looks like. These don't do anything for me. But people like them. I guess
Mhm.
they keep making them.
Yeah.
Oddly, G1 and Transformers 1 figures, large 2-point articulation G1 and Transformers 1 characters, and Alpha Action blind box highly posable figures. What?
Yeah, so they're doing large, like 7-inch size figures where they swivel at the shoulders, but that's it. And then Alpha Action is a different product segment that's blind box, but it's got all the posability that the other ones don't have.
It's amazing. 25 years ago, when I was starting Radio Free Cybertron, it would have blown my mind. All the stuff we're getting, and now I'm like, okay. Yellow Park prototyping a Tarn for AMK Pro.
So, like, that's great on one hand. On the other hand, they've proportioned it just like the Generations toy, which means it's too small and too thin looking.
Yeah.
So they've kind of missed the point.
Does have a removable mask this time though, which is kind of nice.
Ah.
So I need Rob to read the next one like he did last week.
All right, no problem. More photos of Leoleus / Rathalos Prime from Tokyo Game Show. I love this thing. Okay, I probably went over some of this last week, but I don't think some of this information was available at Showtime, so I think I missed some of it.
I think we have better photos now.
Yeah, and much better photos that are much nice and more accurate, vivid shade of red than the
nice.
previous ones. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, just to reiterate what this is a Rathalos, a very large poisonous fire-breathing dragon from Monster Hunter. It's one of the flagship monsters that goes back to the original game. It seems to be based heavily on the Air Razor engineering. It turns into Optimus Prime wearing an accurate set of Rathalos armor from the game. If you go and farm enough of the Rathalos, you can make this armor for your character. And the best part, like just the okay, they nailed this part of it. He comes with basically an actual weapon from Monster Hunter called a Charge Blade. A Charge Blade is like the perfect thing for Optimus for a Transformer. It is a sword and shield set that transforms into a gigantic axe, and the toy actually does this. Brian is yawning. I understand. He does not care about Monster Hunter.
No, I'm tired.
No, I know nothing of Monster Hunter, but this shows when you have a good design and a good looking figure. Like I'm interested in this, even though I don't care about Monster Hunter.
So,
This
It
is
just looks cool.
this is like the best crossover they've ever done. It is just absolutely
looks-
brilliant
it
in
looks
every
beautiful.
regard.
so yes,
Hmm.
on our internal Zoom call, I was yawning, but for the record, I am very tired.
Fair enough.
So is Air Raider the new Combiner Wars Silverbolt?
Well,
Good.
I mean, remember, Air has been a Silverbolt.
That's true. That's true.
Remind me.
And the 2-pack with Prowl and
It was sold as Skywarp, but it's the same deco
Yeah.
as Magnabot Silverbolt.
Oh
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
No, but like I dig this too. Like they've done a great deal of retooling on this, and I love the Air toy as like a base design skeleton. My one problem with this, and I don't think it's undeserved that it costs this much, but my one problem with this is that like the price is going to start at $50, and you're going to go up from there if you get someplace that's going to charge separate shipping. Like if you can't get it off of Suruga during a free shipping weekend after it comes out next year. Like I like this, I just don't know if I like it 50 plus. Rob though is all in on this from what I've gathered.
Yeah, I've played Monster Hunter for a long time now. I've shown this to other people I know who play Monster Hunter, and they love it. It is just, like I said, it is just really well done, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this.
It looks great.
And there, since basically there's another dragon by the name of Rathian that is just the same thing in different colors. This has built-in recolor potential already.
Another $50 to spend.
Uh-huh.
Sweet. Takara made a clear plastic Karakuri statue Optimus to demo the transformation mechanism.
Yeah, that weird, giant base Optimus thing that doesn't do anything except transform into a truck that you can't like take off of there or play with. But they made one like the visible, Optimus Primal toy. Unfortunately, while their intention was to show off all the internal mechanisms, like the density and number of layers of the clear plastic pretty much still renders all the stuff inside unseeable.
Yeah. Maybe if you had a flashlight directly on it, you might see something.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
That's something. Okay. Super7 Deluxe VHS Optimus Prime exclusive to well-known Transformers retailer Macy's. So, again, same concept. The VHS-style box. This time it's Optimus Prime. Missing all the good accessories.
Yeah, it just comes with the rifle.
No basketball, no buy.
Also, I've been informed since that from the release of just, Super 7 Ultimate Optimus Prime to when they did the Unalive Ultimate Optimus Prime, there was a modification to the figure's elbows, and the pictures here apparently reflect the original, more limited elbows that the thing originally released with. So this is probably still not even as good as the mold has been released in the past.
Well, there you go. Another reason not to buy this.
Also, who has a Macy's anymore?
I don't know if I do or not.
I do.
I haven't been to that mall in at least 6 years, so
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Who has a mall anymore?
I have one.
Someone was telling me
I think
that
I do.
Battle Trap from Rise of the Beast is really hard to get. And
Yeah.
I went into a Macy's and they were loaded with battle traps.
Ah, so that's where they all went.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in-hand photos of retro G1 reissue Bombshell and Ramhorn, and this is the retro G1 reissue Don.
Studio series?
No. Retro
That's next
G1
year.
reissue. Yeah, so Bombshell still looks weird.
Yeah, I don't like it.
This actually hit. This actually was on Amazon Monday. Not Amazon, Walmart. On
I was gonna
Monday.
say, yeah.
Yeah, and Ben posted it to his page, and I missed it. I wish I'd picked it up, but yeah, it's weird looking. But I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, the gray just really throws it off for me.
Yeah.
And I also didn't buy Shrapnel and Kickback either, so
Well, that's a
It's-
problem.
Is that gray even the right color gray? Shouldn't it be darker?
I mean, when you're trying to match to animation, it's kind of hard to judge because that's why we have the argument whether Sunstorm is orange or yellow.
Yeah,
for
true.
example.
He is orange.
Yeah.
I
Especially
agree.
that
I agree.
Cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the shining example of consistency.
But
yeah,
yeah.
and not only can it vary from cell by cell, it can vary from master by master.
Yeah.
of
Yeah, that's
the
really the
character.
bigger problem.
So
Also, if you're, watching a third generation VHS copy on a, CRT that hasn't been dialed in quite right, like that's going to affect it too. Like there's just so much.
that's the best way to watch G1.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct about that. But if you're trying to source for color matching for a toy production, that's not the best way to go about it. But like that seems to be what Takara did for years and years with some of their reissues and, specialized products.
Yes,
next-
G1 is best enjoyed on the original CRT.
So the next
Yeah.
time I watch G1, I do have a VCR. I do have a CRT behind me. But I don't have the only Transformers that I have on VHS are like sealed copies of Transformers the movie that I will not be opening.
Hmm.
But I do have the G1 DVDs that I could watch like on my PlayStation 2 or something.
Hmm.
Fans Hobby shows off color test shot of Tsunami, their unlicensed Armada tidal wave.
I'm of two minds about this.
You want it?
Kinda. I want to see it in action first. Because if it can't do the clean transformation from super battleship to robot mode either, there's not a whole lot of point to be getting it, because that's like that's a major thing that the Titan class one lacked, that I just like it's kind of killed that for me. But like while it seems like with this they got a lot of the like functionality and the essentials of the design down, they're also missing a lot of, they didn't hit the proportions quite right, I think is what I'm kind of trying to get at here. Like
Yeah.
the core body looks very like slimmed down, and for a certain kind of aesthetic, like I fully acknowledge Fans Hobbies, Armada, and Energon stuff they've done is not trying to like recreate the appearance of the original toys or the media directly. Like, in all those cases, they are inspired by the ideas of both of those, but they are interpreting it in their own way. So like this just extends through that. I don't dislike the way it looks, and that's why I want to see it in action, because like if the handling experience of it looks like it's distinctly better than the Titan class, like it might be something that satisfies that, super space battleship shaped itch I have.
They're all scaled to like 1/2 Pat Lee proportion
But without the marshmallow.
without the marshmallow. Yeah.
I'm getting it, so you'll definitely be able to.
It's nice
Okay, yeah,
looking.
no, that's good.
Yeah,
And
it looks
like
great.
the direct price from Fans Hobby like starts quite a bit less than Titan Tidal Wave 2. So like, getting it through the right sources, it would not even be necessarily that prohibitively expensive. Like it's something I could realistically consider adding into the Tidal Wave collection. And again, just seeing how it pans out when people start actually getting and handling these, like, it may fill in the satisfaction that I didn't really feel with the Hasbro one, unfortunately.
So enter Discord at tfradio.net/Discord. A few minutes ago, Sean shared a link to the Titan tidal wave at walmart.com, which as of this recording is like $160.
Are they still offering the like $40 of Walmart cash when you buy it too?
I have no idea.
Because that's been a thing for the last little bit here.
Probably not. But
Walmart so very much wants to get rid of their sitting stock of tidal waves.
yeah. Okay, let's jump to what we got this week. Of course, we talk about Transformers that we got this week in patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Get the full Monty with all of the off-topic stuff as well. Diecast was bragging in pre-show that he got a ton of stuff, so we're gonna go to him first.
All right. First thing I got was Fans Toys' first Constructicon. He is huge. Very solid, really nice figure. The heel is actually completely almost completely die cast. So it seems like it's going to be very stable. They're definitely focused on that. But comes with the little trumpet and everything. Just I haven't transformed it, but I've messed around with it, and it's such a great figure.
So he's supposed to be
I'm
Scrapper.
Yes.
Who is
yeah.
what's his name?
The scoop one. I don't know.
Scrapper.
Yeah, but like, what's the knockoff?
Oh.
Genry or something.
Okay.
G-E. I thought it was Gary, but it's not Gary. It's Genry.
That's not fun.
Yeah.
I mean, unless
I
it's
don't
like,
know what.
unless it's like Cupola, that's like surprisingly witty that nobody got.
Yeah.
Sure.
The other thing I got is the little Doctor Wu figures. I've got the Cyclonus and Bumblebee, which is kind of fun. I took them out, they're so small. I got the uh the is it Ramjet, the white one?
Ramjet and Cosmos.
Ramjet and Cosmos, and then Wheeljack and the green Inferno, whatever his name is.
Road Hauler.
Road Hauler, yeah. And I also got all my YOLO Park Transformer 1 figures. This is the non-cogged Orion packs, and then this is the cogged Orion packs before he became Optimus Prime, because I found
Spoilers.
out from the back of the box. Yeah, spoilers if you didn't know, Orion Pax became Optimus Prime. On the back of the box, they're doing they're doing 2 Pro series. They're doing a Megatron and Optimus Prime. So I'll actually have all 3 versions of the Optimus Prime from the movie. These I wasn't expecting the smaller figures to be as nice as they are. He even comes with a jetpack. This little piece on the back comes off, and you can pop the jetpack on.
For our audio listeners, which is 99.99999% of the audience, Diecast just popped something off the back.
Yeah. But these are so much nicer than even the smaller YOLO Park G1 figures that Rob and I got. These are a step above that. I really like these non-cogged YOLO Park figures.
How did they
So-
scale to those?
They're a tad taller, but not much.
Okay.
So like
So-
the cogless one, like against a current deluxe, how do those stack up roughly?
Probably about the same, if not like here's Road Pig.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty good.
It's a
Yeah.
little bit taller than Road Pig, maybe
Yeah, about a
half an
head
inch.
taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually especially for what was that, like $15 or $20, the cogless one, that's actually pretty decently sized.
Yeah. And I think there might I have to do some more research on these figures. I think there's some other features that I didn't even realize till just now.
Oh, nice.
I also got from Amazon today the 2-pack of
Ruckus and
Bludgeon
Bludgeon.
and Ruckus. Did this? I guess this just came out. I don't
Mhm.
remember. Yeah. So because it came today.
I kind of want that, but I also just want it to maybe go on sale a little bit before I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I also got the Soundwave G1 Universe with Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw.
Yeah, and Decepticon Rumble, which he's blue, and he's like a lighter blue, I think. Actually, he might be a different shade blue than the other.
He's much darker than the original Studio Series 86 release.
Okay.
He's,
Yeah, so
he's
Stu-
Toy
Studio
Colors
Series-
Frenzy.
Yeah. Studio Series 86 was lavender G1 animation colors. This is G1 Toy Frenzy colors.
Yeah, so now we have the upgraded Studio Series version of that mold in all 3 color sets, basically, which is nice.
Yeah, and then
And
that
unfortunately, there's a
Ravage.
Ravage with it as well.
Yeah, which is terrible. Here's the other thing that I think you guys are gonna like, and I wish everyone could see the box because it
yeah.
is it's not a knockoff, but I would say they stole the packaging of the original
They sure did.
Skyfire toy or Jetfire toy. But it's not a knockoff inside. And I got the extra one that came, or I got the deluxe one that came with the stand, and it actually comes with a set of clear.
What is it though?
It is the. I don't even know.
Okay, Brian, you remember that Robotech Skyfire they came out with a couple of last year
It was horrible.
that had kind
That
of
one
bad,
that you hated, yeah.
It was garbage.
yeah, that's a different company's. I think it's a different company's take on the same concept.
So this is not a bootleg G1 Jetfire, but it is a bootleg of another Valkyrie toy that they are selling in recreated G1 Jetfire
So it's a
packaging.
knockoff.
It is.
Okay.
It's a very weird.
So
It's a knockoff destined to make at least two companies very unhappy.
yeah, it's impressive. Like, they're finally gonna get like Harmony Gold and Hasbro to align on something for once. Which who would have guessed that? That
We
could
don't
happen.
need that kind of a line continuity. That's not what we're shooting for.
No.
But I also got all the battle armor that it comes with. I also got it in clear, which is kind of
Oh,
cool.
that's the bonus that comes with the stand, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize that when I ordered
the
it.
basic package itself comes with all the armor and clips, and like it comes with all the stuff that's supposed to. But you can get the pre-order bonus with the stand and the clear armor.
Right.
So people in our Discord were talking about these a few weeks ago. tfradio.net/Discord. The overall quality of this is supposed to be vastly better than that one from last year that we made reference to. This is also cheaper, I think. I don't know how easy this still is to get. This was a thing that was like in active circulation about a month ago. Supply is going to probably go in and out on that, but like that's a very faithful reproduction it has of Jetfire's original packaging, like it's right down to having the battle scene on the back of it. So like, just as something to have and like display on a shelf, it's kind of cool.
I do want to mention though, it looks to me for that the insert for the packaging is just like white vacuum formed plastic and not styrofoam from here.
It is correct.
Yeah. Missing Link has kind of raised the bar a little bit on repro packaging. I like my squeaky horrible styrofoam that I don't actually like handling.
Even the G1 knockoffs from China have the styrofoam packaging.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
Just to let y'all guys know, I just checked out Show Z Store, and as of right now, this is showing up still available for pre-order at $124 and $149.
The fake Jetfire.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Anything else, Diecast?
And then this is the one I thought Chris is really gonna like.
Oh, right. Here we go.
It is Unique Toys, and it's their R07 Dumber, and it's their
the Mudflap.
The Mudflap, and they're doing the skids too. So
so they named their knockoff skids and Mudflap Dumb and Dumber. Okay,
I'm uncomfortably aware of the existence of those. Yes, thank you.
I was very interested because Unique Toys usually does decent stuff. So when I saw this pop up, and I was like, it's Unique Toys, who apparently went out of business, but now it came back into business.
For like Toy World, we don't really know who's piloting the zombie.
I thought Unique Toys made crap.
No,
Unique
nice
Toys
stuff.
makes exquisitely engineered things that you just don't want to do anything with.
Well, they made a lockdown from,
which was exquisitely enginered, but you don't actually want to interact with.
It was Impossible Toys that made
Impossible
crap.
Toys, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Impossible Toys was Unique Toys. That lockdown's actually really nice to transform. I don't mind that at all. They also made a hot rod that was.
Just want to say, I retract my laugh after Diecast said unique toys.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
No, it'd be interesting if Impossible Toys suddenly came back.
Yes.
yeah, that's more, that would be more insane. But no, Unique Toys is
Master
actually pretty
Shooter.
good.
I was gonna make that joke.
And that's all I got.
So, Don, you can go next. You're gonna have at least one thing that I have, but that's okay. So, what did you get this
Okay.
week?
I got a couple of things. From Hasbro Pulse, I got the Flame and Emirate Zaron
So you got
two
two
pack.
things that I have.
I did not read any of the UK comics for the most part, so I have no idea who Flame is at all.
He's all about scientists.
I got that from reading the blurb.
That's all there is to know.
Really, but I did know Emirate Zaron from the U.S. run, so I do know who he is. Again, two characters that was never really on my list of. I need figures of them, but using that Megatron mold for Flame in those colors really looks good on that mold. It really does.
Exquisite.
Also, for people familiar with Emirate Zaron's design, the fact that there is a Megatron mold in the box and it is not Zaron is actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
I also got from Walmart, thanks to Benny posting the link, the retro G1 animation colored Optimus Prime. I want to open this so bad, but it is so beautiful in the box. I can't.
Well, I have it. I haven't opened it yet. I'm going to. That's the other thing that I got that I knew you
Yeah.
had. So
I'm very interested in hearing about that because on our Discord this week, tfradio.net/Discord, they were talking about how apparently the trailer is a new mold with the spring-loaded launching function actually working, but it does not seem to be the same new mold as the Missing Link trailer, which does not have that, and of course has the modular removable repair bay.
that's interesting.
Do you think maybe one is cheaper to produce, so they made a second one to use for like certain versions of Prime where they need to keep the cost down, and there's a different version that's a little bit better that they want to use for the higher end stuff?
My thought is that since they wanted to add articulation features to Missing Link, that they went with that new feature for that trailer. And since the Retro Prime is, supposed to be the original toy, they went for that feature on that one. Just the fact that new molds for pieces that big are on the table for reissues at the moment is kind of fascinating to me. But also, if you're going to do one of those, Prime's trailer makes perfect sense because that is going to get reissued like a dozen times, probably for like Bape and a half dozen other Japanese companies, and you're going to make that money back quick.
Yeah. The last thing I got was talk to 60 on Twitter. For those of you that know 60, and I got one of the items I've been looking for a very long time. Toy World Orange Constructor.
Didn't you have that last week?
No.
No, he told us last week that he had bought that from 60
Yeah.
after the show.
After the show, yeah. It's very big. It's very heavy. This is going to be an all-day event for sure. And they were shipped in Devastator combined piece mode. So I'm going to have to take. I kind of want them to do the whole gambit of robot, vehicle, and Devastator part. That's gonna be a long thing. But it got here in about a week from the UK, which was insane.
That's really good.
I'm really looking forward. I had to pay a little bit for it, but considering this was on my TF Con looking for list, and I was able to make some of the money back through Dynanomics, so I'm really happy to finally have this. So I'm done on Devastator, except for next year's
Studio series.
Studio series, yeah. And if they do orange and yellow in those eventually, but I'll probably be dead by then. But that's all I got.
Both, buddy.
Yeah. But that's all I got on topic this week.
John?
Yeah, so I missed it last week, certainly. So some of this might be a little bit old news, but it's new news to me. So I got and opened Steeljaw. I know I'm late to the party on him today. And count me in the army of people who just are flummoxed that this is $10. But he is, and I paid it, and I'm keeping him. But man, inflation is a heck of a thing. So how big is he? I would say he's about as big as a Vienna sausage, maybe. Maybe something like that. So if you don't have him, just think about that. Just think, would you pay $10 for one Vienna sausage? Put it in the comments. Answer that in Discord. I also opened Legacy Armada Optimus Prime turned Motormaster. He's fun. I really like this mold. I think I just like animated Optimus Prime. I think I just like that kind of source material. And it's a great color scheme. His head sculpt is awesome. And the proportions work. I mean, given that weird like box head that Motormaster has, that can go like sideways real fast as far as proportions go. But I think it works. It's not too big. It's not too small either, and it doesn't look completely out of place on this iteration of animated Prime. So I like him. I dig him. And then the last thing I got was what did I get? Oh, the Galvatron repaint of Legacy Armada Megatron, who definitely needs more paint apps. But of course, the base coloration of Galvatron is great. That original Armada Galvatron is one of the best looking toys ever. And this makes a valiant attempt. You know, they tried. So points for trying. And I think I like Legacy Armada Megatron, the base mold. I think I like it more than most people. In that I do like it. I know the loss of everything interesting about the original toy, the gimmicks, kind of a bummer. But as a posable, pretty well proportioned version of that character, it works. And it's something that I can put on the shelf and not worry about preserving a 20-year-old toy. So I appreciate the repaint. I think he looks good. At some point, I hope somebody comes out with leader ones. Hello. To put with these guys. But yeah, he's a solid toy and I like him. That's what I got.
Yeah. Hey, Brian. Real quick, I need to do a little bit of translation for John because he said Vienna sausage. So there are people that may not recognize that. It's also called Vieni.
Or
for those people.
nobody called it Vieni here. It was Vienna. We pronounced the A right. We got the A part. It's Vienna.
But I thought maybe I needed some translation there for those people.
I thought you were going to remind people that he's talking about the Minicon Leader 1 and not the GoBot Leader 1.
Oh, yeah. Hey, kids.
Yeah. That was 20 years ago. So.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. Anyway, and then also, if you don't know what a Vienna sausage is, a cocktail weenie is another term for this. I don't know.
That's a fancy one
right.
there. Yeah. If we're getting fancy, we're going upper class, a cocktail weenie.
Yeah. Cool. Anything
$10.
Else?
Nope, that was it.
Matt?
Yes. So I also got Generations Leader Class Buzzsaw and Friends. I mean, I always like the Laserbeak. He's really simple, so it's kind of hard to screw him up. They did a good job with that. I'm glad to finally have it in gold for Buzzsaw. He comes with toy colors for Frenzy, that horrible Ravage, and Netflix Soundwave for anyone who didn't have him. I'm sticking with the 86 Frenzy because I like the darker colors, but I think the lavender stands out better on the shelf next to everything else. And I also got the Ruckus and Bludgeon 2-pack from Amazon. I put Bludgeon in tank mode. I will probably never ever touch him again because that transformation is not pleasant. And Ruckus surprised me. The first thing I noticed about Ruckus when I took it out of the box is I was like, I don't remember Beachcomber being this big. And sure enough, when I compared the two, Ruckus is barely, like, they say he's a partial, but partial pretty much means shoulders, thighs, and waist. Those are the only parts this shares. Beachcomber is about 2/3 the size of Ruckus.
Well, I read somewhere they got that by taking out the slider mechanism for Beachcomber's torso. That's how you get they got the height for Ruckus being bigger as they just removed that slider mechanism. That's what I read.
See, I thought they
Although
just did it
I
with
mean-
platform shoes.
Yeah, the platform shoes definitely help, but also like everything is proportional on it. The chest is way bigger than on Beachcomber. Ruckus is definitely the winner of the set. Super glad to have that, and that's it for me this week.
Rob?
Just one thing. When I was trawling Sir Gaia for miscellaneous art books and what have you, they actually had in English the third trade paperback of Transformers versus G.I. Joe. So, that is still a thoroughly insane comic, and I love it. There's something about it. As when I was reviewing it for T-Formers, I was doing it all, of course, off of digital copies. I feel like that being on glossy paper actually loses something. That is so just designed, but it is so intended to be just a weird old comic you found somewhere on crumbling newsprint that just having it on glossy paper just feels wrong.
It's wrong.
That said, it was $4, so I'll take $4 of weird wrong.
It's amazing you got one of the most insane pieces of officially sanctioned Transformers fiction in probably about the most insane possible way you could have gotten it.
Yeah. Problem being it is of the 3 volumes, it does seem to be the most readily available one. You're not going to find it for $4, I think, very often, but I'm sure not going to find volumes 1 and 2 for $4 anytime soon either. So that is something I'm going to have to think about. But that is in terms for on topic, that's all I got.
Chris?
Okay, so this will be quick. So last week I got the Shuttle Massacre Part 2 set from Target because they'd put it on sale and I had 2 Target Circle things I could apply to it. So I got that set for about $30 shipped, which, is absolutely reasonable for those 2 toys. I have not had time to try to do the surgery to make the one ideal Ratchet out of the parts of the 2 that I have. But I'll get around to that. I've done that operation on Ironhide before, so I know what to expect out of it, and I just need the pins on both sides to cooperate. That's the big question mark on that one. I also got last week, vastly earlier than I had planned for it, Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. There's a whole rigmarole around that. I have not had time to open that as a result of that, and I still have some things I'm in the air about with that before I can dig into that, but hopefully I'll be able to talk about that a little bit more in depth next week. And then from Pulse, I did also receive Leader Buzzsaw with Soundwave and some other dudes. So the one thing I have to add to the conversation on that, because I haven't had time to open that either, the box art they use is of the Kingdom Core class Soundwave on the front of the box. You can tell this because it's got the toes pointing straight up, which was, one of those highlight features everybody talks about on that Core class Soundwave. If you look really close to that box art, you can see it's that same toe pointing up thing, and you can see where they drew in the ball joint sockets for those ankles. So they just recycled that same package art from that Core class and superimposed the cassettes over it, which I found quite entertaining. But yeah, it looks perfectly fine. I have not dug out the Netflix one to do it a side by side for deco differences or anything, but hopefully this is a Soundwave where there's not an immediate risk of the nylon parts are going to turn brown on you. I haven't seen my Netflix Soundwave in a while, so I don't know if that happened to me, but just in case, it is nice to have the spare that came with my $60 Buzzsaw.
Yeah, box art Ravage looks way better than what you actually get in the box too.
Well, I mean, even the most skilled artist, I think, would be challenged to really convey in art how awful that Ravage toy is. There's just limits to human artistic capability, and I think that's one of them. But I believe that's everything I've gotten since the last time I reported on the things that I got.
Cool. Okay. So, like Dawn, I got Flame and Emirate Zeron, and I also got the 40th anniversary retro Optimus Prime. The other thing I got was a Missing Link Sentinel Prime, which I haven't opened yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was even shipping yet.
Well, it was available at that convention, right?
Yeah,
In hand.
yeah.
So this is
Yeah, Transformers Expo in Japan.
Yeah, so yeah, it was somebody imported it from Japan who sold it at a slight markup that I felt was reasonable, and I canceled my
Nice.
pre-order for it and ordered it. I've yet to open it. I probably will this week. But that's what I got this week. Let's jump to off-topic / ham sandwiches, which is exclusive to Patreon. And I want to say, I'm looking at Sir Gaia right now, and there's a Japanese laserdisc of Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home for $4, and I am seriously considering it.
I
Get
mean, yeah, if it's free shipping time, you might as well.
Yeah.
And
It's only logical.
yeah, I know. I'm also looking at comps on the.
I mean, double dumbass on you if you don't.
Yeah, well, double dumbass on you too. So I'm looking at comps on that Pioneer Transformers the Movie DVD that they have, and there are 2 on eBay for literally twice the price they're asking for the one on Sir Gaia. I'm trying to talk myself out of buying it. I just want to say that.
Well, Brian, I know this won't help, but I haven't ordered anything like that, but I have ordered several CDs and they've all come new, sealed in package.
I'm sure this isn't, but it's also from Japan, so I'm certain it's been handled with like immaculate care.
Very likely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So okay. Diecast, what'd you get?
Oh, I got today Chip Raptor, Talon, and General Ledger.
What?
G.I. Joe, the dude
Oh.
with the wings.
Oh, okay. Raptor.
Yeah,
Cobra Commander's accountant.
yeah. And I also got a carded retro Cobra Commander.
Nice.
So wait, Raptors eat snakes, right? So
Depends on the snake. A large enough
a
snake could be
raptor,
a raptor.
is your accountant, and you're a snake themed organization. Doesn't that set off any bells to anybody else?
I don't think snakes are the primary food source for raptors, Don.
Okay.
I mean,
Not
I
the
wouldn't.
primary.
No, but like they're perfectly capable of snatching a snake off the
Yeah.
ground and killing it if they're so inclined.
Yeah.
Like, there's absolutely no reason that a hawk or something of that size or bigger couldn't just grab a snake for lunch.
I mean, it couldn't like get a anaconda or something.
Well, no, but like
So
I think
snakes win.
we're talking about stuff that moved in different circles then.
That's true. Anything else, Diecast?
Nope, that's it.
Don, what absurd third-party off-topic nonsense stuff did you
Okay.
get this week?
Well, I got Retro Cobra Commander as well, which means the one that came with the his tank I can leave on card since it's the
Nice.
oddball variant, and now I have one to open. I got Super7 Destro because he was $25 on Amazon.
You got cheated.
Well,
You know,
I-
$25 for an Ultimate is generally, I think, okay.
yeah, that's more than half off.
Yeah, that's ballpark for any 6-inch scale figure
It's a
at this
7-inch
point. So I
scale
don't
figure.
think that's yeah.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't fit in with anything.
Well, they're gonna have their own little part of the classified shelf when I get everything open.
It's like
my
got a
local
lot of-
Walmart.
It's the infinite Destro.
My local Walmart. Oh, that's good. My local Walmart's been trying to get rid of an Ultimates Cobra Commander at $35 for like 2 months now.
I mean, that's still less than retail, but I'm sure come the holidays, we'll all find a lot of Super 7 stuff cheaper than that. A lot of Masterverse stuff. Got the new Merman, which looks really, really good. Picked up. Well, darn it.
And then dropped, apparently.
No, I had something else. I got Sorceress Tila.
The hell?
But I don't quite understand because her powers were given to her by a dragon, but it's all snake themed.
So I'm gonna I loosen up a little bit for the Patreon portion. I don't like ping you guys during the show and say like, don't talk about what you have in your hand. Like, don't say like what people can't see. She looks green.
She is.
She does.
She
look
is.
green.
She is green. She is.
It's like snake armor sorceress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
didn't
like,
watch the show, Brian, with that season.
yeah.
Is
Is
that
this
like
like
from the
Revolution?
second? Is that
Yeah.
from the second season of the show, which I think is Revolution instead of Revelation?
The first
is.
season was so bad, I'm not gonna watch.
Or as
the
Don
second
says,
one.
relevation.
Yes, I was
Ah,
okay with the first
Revolution,
season,
okay.
but I also
Good
no longer
killer.
have Netflix, so
Yeah. So I got that. I picked up the Battle Armor Skeletor to go with Battle Armor He-Man.
I like the hat.
And I got when I was at Target a while ago, they had this that came out of nowhere, the new Man at Arms, which I think is a really interesting layout for Duncan, and it's a very interesting looking figure. And the last thing I got was Target ran a flash sale. Remember how a few weeks ago I got the McFarlane Batmobile for like $30 less than retail?
I bet you got a party wallet for like $20 less this time.
Nope.
That would be on topic.
Yeah,
I got
true.
the Joker Mobile because they rented it half off.
That's
neat.
crazy, Don. That's huge.
Yeah, I know, and I wasn't ever going to get it because it was like $60, and it's like, okay, I had the Batmobile, I was fine, but I get the Joker Mobile for half off, so now it's all balanced. So, and
$30 for a box that big is not bad.
yeah, and that way, I got the Joker, I got the Batmobile, everything's fine. That's all I got this week on ham sandwiches.
I figured you'd have something crazier than that, Don. That was all pretty reasonable.
No, my crazy thing is sitting right here
That's true.
yeah.
John.
Quick question for Don first. Don, do figures fit in the Batmobile and the Joker Mobile? Like, is there enough articulation in those figures to, shove them in there?
The boxes show them in there.
But they could have
So
just broken those figures for demonstration purposes. You
I
never
mean,
know.
yeah, they could have, but
Yeah,
I mean,
Todd
that
just
new
cranks them,
Ninja Turtles
cracks them.
Technodrome also shows figures sitting in it, and they do not fit.
That's
well,
Right.
these are like product images, so I don't know. But
Well,
I'm
those
gonna
never
hope.
lie.
I'm gonna, if nothing else, I can pose the figures beside the vehicles
Mhm.
if I have to, and it'll still worll out well.
I still
Yeah.
can't believe they made that Technodrome 30% smaller. I mean, I
That's
can,
so
but
crazy.
yeah.
I canceled immediately when I saw actual, like, I knew they were doing that, and then I saw comparison pics and a couple of reviews on YouTube. Yoink. I bailed immediately. Sad. It's a shame. Although the box still looks great. I mean, that box art is lovely. So anyway, okay, the only thing I got, I mentioned it on the pre-show, is I got the new, I won't even bring it out for video, sorry. Is the new 2-pack from NECA for the Punk Turtles, where they recolored their leather jackets to match episode 2. They originally released the 4 Punk Turtles that are dressed up like street kids. They originally released them in a 4-pack and colored them based on some obscure like season 3 episode that nobody remembers. Everybody remembers the pilot, man. And so they kind of fixed that oopsie and also stumbled their way into selling everybody 6 turtles instead of 4 turtles. So they didn't get credit for that.
Accidentally, you say.
Yes, I know. I don't know if that was Crazy Like a Fox or whatever, but I'm out an extra like $55. Anyway, that's all I got.
Chris,
No.
Matt,
Nope.
Rob.
A few things. Like I said, I was looking around Surigaya just to see, what kind of art books I could find. I found 3 more volumes of art books for the 5-star stories, which still smell like my dad's comic book trunk. So that is just a very soothing thing to have on top of just having very nice artwork. At least for the robots. Mamoru Nagano used to be a fashion designer, and it shows in all the worst ways in his character designs. They are freaking weird.
Yazan.
Beyond that, they had a couple of bilingual volumes of manga, just like with both Japanese and English dialogue. I got Astro Boy and Kimba the White Lion. So I'd read some Astro Boy in English, never read any of Kimba, aka Jungle Emperor Leo, so that'll be interesting to see. Beyond that, I actually got a couple of CDs from Surigaya this week myself. Apparently there's just a periodical in Japan that comes with Blue Note Records jazz samplers, so I got a couple of those for my dad. And lastly, they had the latest versions of Choto Alpha, Ultraman, and Ultra 7 for like less than $10 each, so I grabbed those. They're still not painting the backs of those, but they are otherwise very nice figures.
Oh, Bandai never change.
Uh-huh.
Which I can say safely because they never will.
Yeah. But that is it for me.
I don't know. I didn't get anything, I guess. Don.
Hey, Brian. One thing I want to say is one thing I did get is I did get a chance to go see Transformers 1.
Okay, let's talk about that
Okay.
in the non-spoilery part of the show.
Well, okay,
I mean
good.
the non-Patreon part of the show.
Right. So the avoid spoilers. Guys, it's great.
Okay, so
And-
let's talk about the after this.
After this. I'm sorry.
After this. So
I got
so
you.
I can talk
Sorry.
about the stuff I actually got. So I didn't get a whole lot, but I got a new Blackstone because I had one, but I got the 22-inch model and I hated it.
Wait, a what?
The grill.
The griddle.
Oh, okay.
I bought a 36-inch model, and it's the most
They're
amazing
nice.
thing ever.
They are nice. They're heavy. They are so heavy.
Cannot wait to do hibachi on it this weekend.
Ooh.
I am excited.
Oh wow! Can you do tricks?
I'm gonna make like an onion volcano,
Yes.
and I'm gonna
Just-
like burn down my deck when I like sling it.
Well, I mean, can't you do like
That's a
pancakes?
great
trick.
trick, but you can only do
Yeah.
it once.
Yes.
I'm going to commit insurance fraud. Watch this.
Can you? I mean, can you do like pancakes or French toast to sort of break it in first?
We did grilled cheese on it already. And
That's awesome.
And it came out. Great.
Nice.
Hibachi pancakes is just like the weirdest sounding thing.
Yeah, cool. Okay, let's say that's it for ham sandwiches. Okay, so Don, during our Patreon exclusive segment, let us know that he saw Transformers 1, and I wanted to make sure that our total audience, everyone, gets to hear Don's impression of Transformers 1 because I want to hear it. So Don,
Okay.
before we jump to our Patreon plug, what did you think?
Go see this movie, and I'm gonna tell you why.
It's going to be gone soon is probably the biggest reason.
Well,
Yeah.
that plus visually, yeah, people have big TVs nowadays because the price on the big TVs have dropped. This is something you really need to see on the big screen with the way the environments are, the way the surface of Cybertron is, the way the mines are. You will lose a lot of that grandeur if you are forced to watch it, even on a 55 or 60-inch TV. The characters are wonderful. Even Bumblebee, who I was afraid would be very annoying, wasn't that bad once you got past his initial shtick. The character arcs, especially for Optimus and Megatron, Elita 1 does get one, but it's not quite as significant. But it's there because it parallels Optimus's to a degree. But even if you're a diehard G1 fan, if you're a diehard Beast Wars fan, if you're a diehard Unitron Trilogy fan, even if you don't think this is for you, I implore you to give it a shot because it's the best of most everything we've gotten recombined and distilled into a coherent origin story that is still its own thing despite having been made of bits and pieces of the lore for 40 years. The characters are believable. The jokes mostly hit. The fight scenes are really well animated and choreographed. The voice work is top notch. The gentleman that does Megatron does an absolutely phenomenal job vocally showing Megatron, D16's journey to becoming Megatron with vocal emphasis in addition to just you see it, the actions on the screen, you hear it in his voice as he becomes this completely different person from where he starts. Chris Hemsworth is Prime. I wasn't sure what to expect of that. I really wasn't. But he's very good. He's not quite as good as the voice actor for Megatron, but that's only because I think Megatron's voice actor had to convey more emotion on that journey than the Orion Pax Optimus Prime. Not saying it wasn't there, but I think the D16 character actor needed to get more of that across. I cannot stress it. Give it a chance. Even if you're a pure diehard G1 fan or whatever, go see this movie. Give it a chance because this is going to be an entire generation's Generation 1. This is where it's going to start. for kids getting into the fandom.
Really?
It'd be nice if it was, but I don't believe it.
I
It's
think
not
it could be. I think it has the potential.
It should have
to,
been, but it's not.
Right. But I think if you look at it as having that potential, seeing it will at least get you prepared for whatever comes next.
It'll be
And
something
besides,
different, which is what comes next. It will have probably nothing to do with this.
maybe not. I don't
This is a
know.
flop.
I for once, I'm trying to be optimistic. I've heard people do that. I'm giving a shot for a change.
I'd rather be right.
But I really think even diehard G1 fans will get something from this movie.
It's excellent.
As far, I think there's something in this movie, some of the jokes, some of the fight scenes. It's bits and pieces for everybody, but it is a solid, coherent, well done, well directed, well written movie. And I think you'll enjoy it. I implore you to go see it to give this thing a chance.
It's just a shame it's a cartoon and nobody's going to give it the time of day.
And we've already had, 6 live action movies that preceded that people have gotten really sick of.
Yeah.
But made so much more money.
So a couple things. One, I would be excited to be wrong, but I don't think I am. This movie's a flop. I don't think it's the harbinger of what comes next. I think that unfortunately this is ultimately going to go nowhere. I hope I'm wrong, but that's my thought.
I'm still holding out hope for streaming and home video sales.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that
In
streaming
China.
China is not going to say it. It made very little money in China its first weekend. It was like $5 million. It was like nothing.
Wow.
So Python Patroller in our Discord was like, did the Transformers '86 movie not do well in theaters as well? Did it not also bomb? And I'm like, exactly.
Yeah, my favorite story about that is that its first weekend out was the last weekend in theaters for infamous bomb Howard the Duck, and Howard the Duck made more money.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That movie also had, 2 seasons worth of lead in and billions of dollars worth of toy sales already.
Uh-huh.
Howard the Duck also had Leah Thompson when she was young and extremely cute. So, I mean, that had that going for it
This
too
is
over
true.
Transformers.
So in our Discord,
Yeah.
90TF says it will succeed. It's about to make back its production budget. Making back its production budget is not
Then there's
a success.
marketing budget on top of that.
You have to make at least twice your production budget, then money over top, like a substantial profit over top that. It's not happening. It's not happening. So
It's a shame. They finally give us something really nice and it's going to be considered a failure.
Yeah, it's really good, and nobody went to go see it. As I said on Twitter this weekend, when I went to go see it again, the other person in the theater applauded. That's how good it is. Yeah.
The sound of one person clapping.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's jump to our Patreon plug. People. You should go to patreon.com/tfradio and sign up. We have several tiers, and everybody gets an ad-free version of the show. You get it the day before. You get it at a higher bit rate with a weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcasts. If we have major edits for RFC, you'll get an unedited version in the Patreon feed, where the public feed gets an edited version. You get There Goes My Money a week early. Patrons at the touch tier get to be on There Goes My Money. You get a nice fancy color on Discord if your Discord is connected. Touch patrons get to be mentioned on the show each week. And you get to be listed at tfradio.net/credits. Also, patrons, I don't actually have it in the benefits, but you get the weekly Patreon exclusive ham sandwich section. We talk about it, but it's not a listed benefit here. I need to change that. But let's go to tfradio.net/credits and actually look and see who we need to thank this week. Again, touched patrons: Kevin Dorsey, Daniel Scott, Jacob and Lucia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jay Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, John Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, sorry Jen, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, and Mollusk Koenig. Thank you all very much. Again, if you want to be listed here, go to patreon.com/tfradio and sign up at the touched tier. Okay. Rob Springer, not here this week. He is at Robo Rob Springer on Twitter and at zonebase.bsky.social on Blue Sky and at zonebase.org. I'm at briankilby.com. My Happy Daily podcast is there. You should check it out. You can also find all of my stuff. I mentioned at briankilby.com, but I'm also on Twitter at bkilby and on Blue Sky at kilby.bsky.social. Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me on Twitter at Diecast2, Blue Sky at Diecast2, Facebook at Reviews by Diecast, and YouTube at youtube.com/RFC Reviews.
Sweet. Don.
I'm reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I can be reached on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social. I also have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/donlist.
John.
That Johnsy everywhere.
Matt.
Melvar.bsky.social.
Chris.
Chris RTXV on Blue Sky. I have a website, playwithphotography.com. It has photography, oddly enough, and also things I've written about photography. And there's toys. Toys, yes. Speaking of toys, if you want to just throw some stuff my way for no good reason, I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist. That is an Amazon affiliate link. So if you do buy something off of my wish list, a little bit of that will come back to RFC as revenue for that and help keep the show going. Just as if you're using tfradio.net/Amazon to do your normal shopping, which you should also be doing. Buy your toilet paper on Amazon and keep the show on the air. I think that's it.
Rob.
I'm on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. I'm on YouTube at youtube.com/@flailthroughs. I mostly cover Gundam games. I'm sure you're shocked. Wrapped up the story mode on Gundam Breaker 4 this past week. Excellent game. I'm working my way through the various other stages and modes a little bit more gradually because keeping up that schedule was kind of getting to me. But I am still covering Gundam Battle Operation 2 on a daily basis. Updates for that game will be, I'll have a video on those every Thursday morning. If you like what I do there, patreon.com/flailthroughs. You can make requests for specific setups in either game. Also, I have an Amazon wish list set up the same way Chris's is at tfradio.net/playlist. So yeah, if you feel like sending anything my way, I'm not going to say no. Very grateful to everybody whoever has. So, and that's about it.
So in our Discord, we were talking about Chris's comment about toilet paper, and I'm sad to report that the tfradio.net/bidet short link no longer works. I need to link a new item to that URL.
Mm-hmm.
Never wipe again. We'll see you next week. Okay.
Recording stopped.
Yeah, so I forgot that I'd set that URL up during COVID.
That's great.
Yeah.
How
I
did that
forgot
link
about that
die?
too.
Well, if they stop selling that particular bidet, the product page goes away.
Link it to a new one.
Yeah.
So the one that we have is the Brundell Eco Seat, and it's amazing. The kids were when I installed it last week, the kids were swapping out like it was a roller coaster. Like they love it. So I wonder if Amazon sells that.
Well, unfortunately, Don, I can't tell you anything more about this than what is already written on the lens.
Okay. I remember carrying these to some degree, just being a basic snap-on or screw-on telephoto lens.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been so long since I've dealt with any of that stuff, I couldn't remember what I couldn't remember. If that makes any
The good thing
sense.
is,
So I didn't
other
know
than
what.
some AI technology, this hasn't changed much since you worked at Service Merchandise. And that's only if
Yeah,
you get one that has the AI.
Yeah, I can't even imagine that. Except for something like that, I can't imagine camera lenses have really changed very much.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was anything else like terminology I should use.
It's all the same.
I see.
That would be more important than what I have already. It's just Christy. Christy. Remember, she got it. It didn't fit her camera, and it doesn't fit anything she has now. I just didn't know what else to put down in the listing.
Yeah, I mean, you've probably got everything covered that you can cover because, like, without a swath of cameras to try to fit it onto to figure out what it's actually compatible with, or anything printed on the lens, which obviously there's not. Besides,
Yeah.
that it's made in Japan and a telephoto lens, which I mean, great, thanks, lens maker. That's very helpful. I'm not really sure what more to add to that either.
Okay, well, I appreciate it.
Don, are you getting these?
What are they?
The
The
fans hobby,
fans toys.
fans toys.
They're
Fans-
awesome.
No, because I'll be honest, I keep waiting because we're doing the Devastator Wars again. So I was waiting for someone to do yellow and orange, other than Toy World has done their thing. I think it's no Toy World and Generation Toy has done theirs in yellow. I was just waiting for someone to do one in orange, but now that I've got Diecast, you've got Constructor, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, was he your combined one or was he your individual one?
He's combined.
He's a combined one, yeah. So now that I've got him, I'll be honest, I feel a little bit better about getting him because one, it was a great price compared to what they've been running, and two, when I went down a few weeks ago to Nerd Bombers and sold him all that stuff, I got about half my money back. So I'm out a lot less out of pocket than I thought I would be. So, but no one does. Very few third parties do yellow, and no one but them has done an orange. Toy
Yeah, it's a
World did.
crime.
Yeah, Toy World did an orange, but it runs as much as no. I'm sorry, this is Toy World. I meant to
Yeah.
say the Generation Toy did orange, but I think they only did like one run
Did
of it.
they?
Yeah, I thought they did.
I don't remember that.
Maybe it was just Toy World. No,
Yeah.
Toy World did this one. They were going to do a clear one because I had the clear one on pre-order for $2.99 at BBTS, and it got canceled.
Hey, people watching live, I need to drop. I gotta put my kids to bed.
Good
That
night,
was
everybody.
probably TF Source that you had it on order for that it got canceled.
No, well, mine was BBTS. For
Okay,
$2.99.
because they were all $2.99 for a
Oh, they were?
while on pre-order at TF Source, and
Yeah.
then it took
Well, isn't that
forever for them to come out.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't that a case where the manufacturer had to change the price and that invalidated the pre-orders or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I waited